The training for the cabinet officers is for them to learn, first of all, what is VRA, which is how to assess vulnerability and risk, how to measure that and express that in a way that is visible, that you can communicate. And it is a training, it is a methodology that allows you to evaluate what are the chief hazards or main hazards faced by people in a particular area, who is at risk from those hazards, what is the measure of intensity of the hazard, as well as the vulnerability to particular social groups.
Each box, for example, this box here, just randomly, this box here means that the private sector and the business community is having a high, not very high, but high vulnerability to theft, high crime, etc.
We're having a group here of about 85 people around there, and all that are relevant, for discussing these issues. Okay, some are very much relevant because they are residents, they're stakeholders here in Mahalape, or they are politicians who work here. But there's also, it is very important to have the opinion of people who are in similar governmental or official positions in other districts. So all of these opinions are coming together. Discussions are happening, disagreements are happening, agreements. So I think what comes out of here is very valuable because it's not something that has been produced by externals, consultants, or even just a small group of people with a narrow mandate or narrow expertise. But this is actually expertise very varied. So what comes here is quite rich. And I feel also the way that this this event has been introduced by two ministers, a member of parliament, the vice chancellor from University of Botswana. So there's an expectation and there's a political weight that's behind it that I think will be very helpful to making these findings, not because they are useful, but making them usable and used.
Yeah, when ba Mahalape, they don't see the diphologolo mo motseng. That's a problem. Kana go dingwe ra kanya gore di o ke mathata ya tla se mathata.
At this juncture, I would like to indulge by inviting our guest of honor to say a few words.
This is a very important interaction, especially from you, Mahalape community, that will give you an opportunity to sit together and engage each other on coming up with the results that could inform development priorities for Mahalape sub-district. I wish to thank the ASSAR team for bringing this workshop to Mahalape and urge residents to take full advantage of this opportunity to address issues that concern the village. We had identified a few people that were representative of the social groups that are in Mahalape, but we wanted to make sure that everybody in Mahalape would be present for the VRA workshop. So from those 28 people, we started with identifying stakeholders, who is in Mahalape, looking at the landscape, and then also listing specifically the groups that are present. And then we also created linkages between the people. How do they work together, and how does information flow between one stakeholder to the next? Also the funding as well, and information monitoring between the stakeholders. We then moving to ranking them as the most important and influential in Mahalape. And this is why we're all here. You are here because you're considered to be the most influential.
ASSAR is an abbreviation that stands for Adaptation at Scale in Semi-Arid Regions. And this is a project that has been looking at how people are adapting or can adapt better to changes in climate or climate change and working in semi-arid regions. So the mandate of the project was really to find out how we could enhance people's ability to adapt as they are victims of climate change. Semi-arid regions are those that are on the verge of becoming arid should change happen. So any drying, or however slight, could shift them into being arid. And so they're very sensitive to changes in climate. So that was the focus of the project, working here in Botswana, in Namibia, in Ghana, in Mali, Ethiopia, and Kenya, and in India. So it is a big consortium working in 9 countries with more than 70 scientists, social, economic scientists, and as well as biophysical scientists, of which I was one of those.
The idea behind that step is really to understand how the ideas that we generate here can be introduced into development planning processes, into decision-making processes at the local, at the subnational and national levels. Because, you know, you may have a fantastic idea, but if it doesn't enter the mainstream and if it doesn't go into decision-making planning processes, and if budget is not allocated to that, then it stays in the paper as a good idea, and that's not very helpful for anyone.
Mekere ke lebogela gore ba asa ba bo ba gorogile e le la bobedi mo motseng mo mme ba lemogile go le botlhokwa gore ba te go gore gakolola ka gore tota dilo tse dingwe tse ga o ithela re sa itse gore ke gore o ka ya kae ga go ntse jana mo gongwe re sa lemoge le gore tota dilo di hetogile ga di thole di tshwana le pele.
We have to come up with not too many groups. But still, we should do a little bit more detail.
Prescribed books.
So this design was, I thought, very useful in terms of giving them practically, not only teaching them about the methodology, but also how to use it practically, and also coming up with a district plan which Malape district officers could actually use.
It is our hope that, and they've said this for themselves, that once they've got these skills, they are going to use these skills in their job applications, as they plan for development in their different districts, as they prepare inputs into the national development plans. For example, now we're going to NDP 12. They are also going to use this, or they can use this, as they do the midterm evaluation of the NDPs. So we really think that, and they promise that they will, use these skills in their work in the various districts where they come from.